are you gonna so move and I'll second?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome, everybody. This is the August 30th meeting of the Delhi Township Board of Trustees. Welcome, everyone here tonight. Welcome our guests, those that are watching from home. Good evening. Good to have you watching. Tonight, we will open the meeting, as we always have, with the Pledge of Allegiance, which we will have our St. Dominic's Boy Scout Pack 483 that will lead that in just a minute or so. And then we have our moment of silence. Our moment of silence goes out, first of all, obviously to Florida and those that are without power, those battling Mother Nature as it is. It's always a battle. Other times we have moments of silence. It's usually to acknowledge someone that's either passed on, something kind of, tragic, or someone, ambassador in the township that we lost and whatever it is. So they might be moved on, passed on, so they don't really get to hear that. So this is a once in a lifetime for me. I think that I'm actually doing a moment of silence for someone who's still with us, if you would. This goes out to you. Where is he? Chief Jimmy Howarth, you've been here 30 years. And you are literally down, not to days, but down to hours as you say goodbye to Delhi and to the next chapter of the life that God has led you to. And we wish you blessings. And the moment of silence is going to be for you, for your family who's been behind you and supported you, the Delhi family, the friends that you've made through the years that will continue to be. Don't forget where, of course, 45238 is and the others. But and a big thank you. Thank you for just being who you are and what you've done for the township, but just being a man of faith. And I've really appreciated getting to know that. And I think the others, I speak on behalf of you also. You led by your intelligence and just what you knew was right and what God led you to. So thank you for saying yes to that. So we are blessed. We are honored. This moment of silence will be for you. Before that, we invite Mike Liederbach. If you'd come on up here, tell us what's going on, if you would. These gentlemen in uniform that are working, I know, on the citizens and community badges and also the communications. So right there to the mic so everybody can hear you at home, and they'll hear you, I believe.
So I'm Mike Liederbach. I'm the committee chair.
Could you hit that mic on button? I'm sorry. Right in the middle of that. There's a little on. There you go.
How's that?
You're on.
Beautiful.
So I'm Mike Liederbach. I'm the committee chair for St. Dominic's Troop 483 for Scouts BSA. We have several scouts here tonight working on merit badges. We had one meet with Cheryl Seavey beforehand for an interview for a requirement for one merit badge, and then we have several other boys who are here for a requirement for their communications merit badge. All of them working their way towards more advanced ranks in the program.
Great. Thank you. Gentlemen, would you do the honor of leading us all in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Please rise.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Chief. We have the approval of the minutes, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Trustees' regular meeting on August 9th, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to approve the payment of overtime for pay periods ending August 8th and August 22nd, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion is approved. Report from our fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
We have Resolution 2023-126, resolution amending appropriations for expenses and dispensing with the second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this
Is
resolution.
there any discussion on this resolution?
Yes, sir. This amendment to the appropriations is for cardiac monitors for fire departments.
Okay, cardiac monitors for the fire?
Yeah, cardiac monitors for the fire. This includes purchase of 4 monitors as well as 1 year of maintenance service. So the chief will actually be talking about this as a spending authority later on in the night.
Very good. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes.
As far as significant transactions since our last meeting, we cut a check to Alita for our street rehabilitation project for $356,000. Our payroll on 8/17 was $333,000. And on 8/29, we received $54,000. It was a combination of motor vehicle license tax, gasoline tax, and local government distribution. And we received $18,000 for our permissive motor vehicle license tax. That's all I have.
Great, thank you so much. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Seavey.
Yes, to answer a lot of questions that we get regarding the apartments called the Viridian at Delhi Town Square, I want to invite all of you to start watching the website called meridiandelhi.com, and this is put on by the developer, PLK, and it will give you the floor plans, the rates, and everything, the amenities that are involved with the Viridian. But I know a lot of you have asked me about how much, what will the rents be? So right now, for a one-bedroom, the rent is $1,165. For one bedroom plus a den is $1,375. Two beds are $1,595, and three bedrooms are $2,065. Now, there are different floor plans under each one of these sections, one bedroom, two bedrooms, three bedrooms. So depending on the floor plan, there is some flexibility in what the rent would be. But I know a lot of you have asked me about how much are they going to be. So hopefully this helps you. And please look at the meridiandelhi.com website. That's all, Mike.
Thank you, Trustee Seavey, and that's a great point. It beats going on social media network and spouting out what you think you might know. Just go get the facts and put it out there. It's a lot easier. People, it really is. And once that opens up, I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And once everything is moved away and set, you'll see more room and where the parking's going to be. And it's really going to be nice and sharp in the offices. The township offices will be right there also. So that will be great. And I'm looking forward, if you would, right there, concerts on the lawn there, and just making that the center part of our township. It's going to be really nice, and I think you'll be impressed when you see that. meridiandelhi.com, the apartments and the such. So fantastic. Delhi Police, thank you. Somebody stopped me at Delhi Kroger's. Stay on the red light. Stay up on that pike. They said, don't just hide back by Delhi Chili. Let them see you. And I know we've talked about that. Why? Because we're trying to just nab speeders and things? No, we want to keep Delhi Pike safe. Quit running the red lights or you will get the ticket. It's that simple. And again, someone thanked Delhi today. I was at St. Dominic's, and they said just the incredible job you guys did, Chief, on the strong armed robbery, the two of them, and just the city of Cincinnati, everyone coming together to get those. And it is a great thing. We talk about it all the time. It's nice living in Delhi, and it's safe. You go to these other areas and you feel like, oh my gosh, where did I go? But Delhi's safe, and what's so great too is how many people that participate with their cameras, the Ring cameras and everything. There's nothing that happens here that people don't see on a camera somewhere. So be smart, absolutely. Do good things. Thank you so much. Fire Department, we have a promotion recommendation. Chief Campbell, good evening.
Good evening.
We have a motion to approve the promotion of Sarah R. Braun as career firefighter medic in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the IAFF Local 3389, effective August 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, Chief Campbell.
Yeah, so what I'd like to say as far as Sarah and Andrew, we were just here almost a year ago when they were both hired as firefighter EMT full-time with the expectation that they would complete their certification training. So here we are, just less than a year, and they have accomplished that goal and are ready to serve here in Delhi. So we're excited to have them help us in their, fulfill our mission with their new responsibilities. So we're excited to bring them on that.
And obviously, become an EMT takes a lot, but to be an actual medic,
It's
Chief,
9 months of training.
That is incredible.
It is.
And do you know offhand how many hours is that to get your certification to be a
Have
paramedic?
to go off mine, but I mean, it's 9 months of clinicals, ride time. I mean, I think they're in the neighborhood of 700 hours they have to do just in ride time and shadowing as a paramedic and things. Yeah, it's a huge investment on their part with classroom, clinicals, and everything that's involved with it.
And that's awesome, and they said yes to Delhi. Awesome. Thank you. Motion, please.
Motion to approve the promotion of Andrew J. Braun as career firefighter medic in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the IAFF Local 3389, effective August 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion's approved.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Alexander P. Reitmeyer as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on August 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion approved.
Motion to approve the hiring of Carly A. Eblin as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on August 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion is approved.
Motion to approve the hiring of Ryan Hurley as part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of the State of Ohio EMT certification, voice stress analyzer, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on August 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion is approved. Thank you so much, Chief.
Yes, this is 3 on top of the 5 for the last one, so we're rolling down the road. We're working on this recruitment and getting them in here. Just one of these 3 needs to finish up their certification, then we could get them started.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Andrew and Sarah, too. Nice accomplishment.
Parks and Recreation, Mr. Soupy.
Super soupy.
Super Soupy. Did you hear that?
Super soupy.
I hear that. I have nothing on the agenda, but anything I could answer, you guys have any questions or not. The cool weather has been very welcome for the crew, catching up on some jobs, so trying to complete some things.
You've had some good concerts here, good turnout.
Yep.
It's always nice to see people come out and spend the night in the park.
Yeah, stealing some of Jim's, I guess, tomorrow night, the next concert, Cincinnati Transit Authority, starting at 7, so
Cincinnati Train.
everybody's more than welcome.
Great.
Does that one have grill out and
Yes,
refreshments?
fire department's doing the same,
Okay.
grilling out, everything you need, parks serving refreshments.
You might see people you know serving beer.
Couple of celebrity bartenders as well. Yes.
Great.
So,
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Randy.
thank you.
Police Department, anything new in your division? Chief Howarth, give us your last report.
I'm going to let Jeff do the official report, if you don't mind, but I'd just like to take a couple minutes. I think actually it kind of has just sunk in, to be honest with you. This day has been coming for a while, but I think just today it hit me. So I'll try to hang in there. But 15 years ago, I was promoted right here to the chief of police. And just to give you an idea, I was holding Carson in my hand. He was 1 year old, less than 1 year old maybe. And then Lisa standing beside me holding Brooklyn. So we can't recreate that today because I can't lift Carson. And Brooklyn's working, so she cannot be here. But it's hard to believe that's been 15 years. It's actually hard to believe it's been 30 years, But first of all, I just like to thank late Chief Howard Macon for taking a chance on me back on June 9th of 1993, 30 years ago. That kind of kick-started me here in Delhi Township, and I feel like I've never let back, never let go from there. And then Chief Tom Bauer promoted me to my first rank of 3 years later, 3 short years later, to the rank of corporal. And I continued on, and then Satch Coletta promoted me to lieutenant. And just continued on from there until August 13th of 2008, when Trustee Davis Trustee Duber and Trustee Lubers put faith in me to lead the department for the next 15 years. It's hard to believe it's gone that quick. I hope I've served you well in that position and given me the chance to do that. All the current elected officials, Jim, Cheryl, Rose, who can't be here with us tonight, prior administrators, Skylar, it's been a short time, but I've really enjoyed working with you for the short time that you've been here. Brian Pacheco has kept me out of trouble, so I appreciate that. But truly, I just thank each and every one of you and all the elected officials that were sitting in your seats before now. But just for the three of you for giving me the opportunity 15 years ago, I really appreciate it. All past and present officers, all the officers right now, that's what makes it hard, because I'm leaving a department where I got great men and women. If I didn't, I probably would have retired 5 years ago when I could, and I had my time in. But it's all them out there day in and day out doing the hard job. My hard's not job. My job's not hard. It's them doing the hard work. And if it wasn't for them, my success here in the last 15 years wouldn't be what it is today. So I just can't thank them enough. All the department heads that I've worked out with the last 15 years, some have come and gone. But I tell you what, it's just, they're outstanding. We all help each other out. We need something from Parks and Rec to clean up some things around the grounds. They're there for us. The cars stay running through Public Works. Everything just is a fine oil machine. And like I said from the beginning, there's not going to be any change. I see nothing changing. It's just going to step up from there. And I appreciate everything everybody's ever done to support the police department from all other departments in the township. I'm excited for Jeff. Jeff's been beside me for the last 5 years. I'm confident this place won't miss a beat. We got good troops, good men and women. It's going to give opportunity for others to move up. And I'm looking forward to seeing, this department even going to the next level. So I wish them nothing but the best. And then the community. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the community. And honestly, the friends and just the people and the citizens, the DCPA, just everybody. If people don't realize how special it is to have not just a community, but 30,000 residents being a part of a community. You're not talking about a small community. And just their support over the years and just my time and all the levies I've been through since I've been here, but just the two that I've been in charge of, and all the people that helped with get those passes, and not just passing them, but overwhelmingly. So just their support from solving crime and letting people realize that if a crime's committed, we might not catch in the act, but sooner or later we'll be knocking on your door. And it's because of public helping out, identifying people, and going out of their way. So I just can't thank the community enough. I never thought this day would come, or it would be my last. And you don't think about that when you're doing it, and I haven't thought about it really until a couple hours ago sitting in my office. So it's the community's department. If it wasn't for supportive boards that we've had throughout all years, and this one right here, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we've been able to do. So credit to the board, standing behind us, allowing us to do our job, and I truly appreciate that. Most and foremost, I have to give all the glory to God. Like Mike, you said, and faithful. He's blessed me. A wonderful family that the township lived. I lived in the township, raised my kids in the township. A job that I never ever thought was a job. Drove every day to work, not even thinking twice about it. Good health. As I mentioned, a wonderful community. Couldn't ask for anything better. And that's what makes the department, is the community. Friends that will last a lifetime outside these doors. I won't be a stranger. I'm not going to get in the way, from the department moving forward, but I'll be involved in things, kids, cops, and firefighters when we started that 14 years ago with a dream. I stay involved in all that, and now I'm a part of the Delhi Hysterical Police Association, or Historical Association.
No.
So I'll be a part of that group now because I am history. But honestly, I just want to give all glory to him for what he's blessed me with, and I truly appreciate everything Township's done for me and my family.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Seavey?
Okay, you know, I'm the one that usually breaks into tears, so cut me some slack here, everybody. This department would not be as superior as it is in the men and the women that serve in Delhi if it wasn't under your guidance and your leadership. That is your legacy to the 30,000 people that live here. Absolutely. There isn't one of them that you can't meet in a grocery store or on the street somewhere that don't carry with pride Delhi Township Police Department, and that's to your credit, and that's what you leave us, and we are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. Mr. Luby?
It's truly been an honor and a pleasure working with you the last 9 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. But like Cheryl said, you know, there's not many, I don't think there's many communities out there that support the police department, you know, like they do here. And again, I think it's because of your leadership and the way you've developed your troops. And you know, it's really nice to see, and it's truly an honor. And you know, it's makes living in Delhi, like you said, Delhi is a safe place to live and to raise a family. And again, a lot of it has to do with you and your troops. So thank you for your leadership, and good luck.
Appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
Mr. Miller?
Chief, we've only got to work together for 8 months now.
I'm not leaving because of you. I just want
Well,
to
that's good. I appreciate that.
Clear in the air.
You know, I was truly blessed to come here and start a new chapter in my life, and have you part of the leadership team that makes Delhi Township such a great place to, you know, to work and live. So all I can say is that you're, you know, you've put your stamp on this community, on your department, and I hope you are truly blessed in this next chapter of your life. So thank you.
Thank you, Skylar.
Very good. Lisa, thank you. Thank you for sharing Jim with us. And anyone who has a police officer in the family, firefighters, you name it, every time you go to work, you wonder what's going on, what's happening, you know, and so, you know, for those men and women who say yes to situations of going into whether it's a burning building or trying to nab a strong-arm robbery suspect just a few weeks ago, and that takes a special character, that takes a special charisma to have that, and we're just very grateful. And I don't know if I can share this if it was public information on, since we're talking about that, the robbery over there, of, again, you being at the right place at the right time, and I don't know if I can't say it, just say, don't go there.
What am I going to do, fire you?
Hey, that's right. Or vice versa. So, you know, our chief was there on the scene. Our chief was there in the area who just looked up and thought, that's how something's not right, and you called it in, right? Saying, hey, and able to snatch those were there 3 of them that got arrested from that whole thing? Yeah. Again, we're grateful. There's no other word to say except just say thank you. God bless your journey. God bless going out to Green Hills, right? And, you know, we're excited for them and for them to get to meet you. It's not like your life is coming to an end. You're still going to be a police chief, and you're still going to be doing great things, and you're still going to make that boy smile, you know, and be proud of you, as we all are.
Like I said, you mentioned Lisa's been with me for 30 years. She's got another 30 years to do this.
So, yeah, God willing. So just thank you. And as they say, vaya con Dios, go with God, and always remember us. And it's great that we're going to see you here also in the future. So be safe.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you much.
Thank you. Ron, I think Jeff is ahead of you.
Moving on, Public Works.
Before I was so rudely interrupted, gentlemen, what you just saw there from our chief is something that you should hopefully aspire to, whether it's the fire, police personnel, whatever it is. You just do good things, commit your lives to that. You being here tonight is just really cool as you're working on your badges and doing other things. But again, stay the straight and narrow. Sometimes life is tough, but you just keep going. You do the right thing. Do those things, as I'm sure Jim would say, and I'll say it, do those things that draw you closer to God, closer to objectively true things, things that are just good. Go to them. And if they're not good, then stay the hell away from them. There you go. Thank you, Chief. What happened to the other guy?
Wow.
Okay, we're going to move on here to the, you're going to finish up the report?
That's correct. I guess I can't go on without saying to Jim. Now I'm going to.
And they blame it on me. Just keep that in mind.
True friend, true leader.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, sorry.
Thank you, Assistant Chief
As
Brown.
far as, obviously, Jim is retiring, so just like the fire department, we're recruiting. If anybody knows anybody that would fit in for us as far as to be a good ambassador for the police department, we're always looking for people, not just 'cause we were looking for people before Jim retired, but we're always looking for good candidates that would be good quality people. So if anybody knows anybody that's looking for a police officer job or position, have them reach out to me. Call me directly if they want to. 513-922-0060. Secondly, we had something happen this past week that obviously grabbed my attention. We had a father leave his child in a hot car when they were shopping. That's very dangerous, so obviously we still have some hot days left in the summer. Please, 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 obviously do not leave your kids in the car or your pets in the car. Obviously, luckily we had a good ending on that, but it could have been tragic and we could have lost one of our a 1-year-old child. So please, obviously, don't do that. That's bad. Secondly, our Facebook page, we're still having trouble with it. We're still working on it. Chris is working tirelessly, our new IT person, to try to figure that out. So we're still trying to figure out how we can get our 12,000 plus visitors or friends on Facebook back to us and followers. I'm sorry. I'm learning new Facebook stuff, right? You can work with me a little bit. And obviously, as Mike pointed out, we're still working hard on red light violations up on the pike, and we're being visible. And please stop for red lights. Any questions?
I'm good.
No. Thank you, Assistant Chief Braun.
Probably the last time you'll say that.
Okay. Very good. Public Works, Ron Rippershire. Good to see you, Ron.
Good to see you. All right, on a good note here, definitely pretty busy with construction throughout the township, almost every other street it seems like. M. Schaff Park, owned by Hamilton County Park District, is currently getting paved. I haven't been up there because it looks really chaotic, but I'm sure it'll turn out nice when it's finished. Pedretti just got paved, and that's part of the Mount Alverno paving project also, so they'll be starting on that in the next couple of weeks. I think that same crew that's doing the parks is going to Mount Alverno to start on that. That's Hamilton County Road, and that is covered under SORTA grant. The City of Cincinnati Fairbanks paving project, I believe the leveling course for half of that section is scheduled for a couple weeks, and we're going to be working on a press release for that in the next couple weeks. Put something on Facebook or what have you. So that's moving forward. And then actually as we speak, or maybe an hour ago, they were paving the township-owned subdivision, the Hickories off of Devil's Backbone. So they started today and they should be complete tomorrow. So
Good stuff. It all looks good. The projects that are being done really makes things shine.
I just came across Glenway and looks like they're working on paving that, and traffic was all backed up.
That is crazy over there. Yikes.
And thank you for the warning sign about the raised manhole lids.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. You see them through,
Yeah.
you know.
So that was great because I was behind people hitting them, and I'm thinking, they were pretty high.
Yeah, it's part of the process. I think everybody really does it for the most part about the same as far as paving like that. They have to adjust all the manholes, and then they do the final paving.
Thank you.
All right, any questions? That's it. Thank you.
Did the Boy Scouts have any questions? Because we talked about the SORTA grant and the sidewalks. You're good? You're good. Thanks, Ron.
Administration, please. Resolution.
We have Resolution 2023-127, declaring certain property no longer needed for public use, obsolete, and unfit for the use acquired, authorizing the sale by internet auction, disposal thereof, and dispensing with a second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please.
First off, I want to thank Ron and his Public Works team. I believe they were the ones heading up the coordination of this resolution. This is simply the attached list are items that are to be disposed of, no longer of immediate value or use to the township. There's old workout equipment, dining chairs that were replaced, other items that are either no longer functioning or need repairs in order to so the repairs cost more than the replacement.
Skylar, were those the chairs in the back room at the senior center?
Those were, I believe, 130 dining chairs. Did those come from the
bet.
lodge or? Those are the lodge chairs.
Okay. I think we may have some in the back room at the senior center as well. Ron? Okay. Thank you.
I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes. Resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-128, authorizing the township administrator to spend greater than $10,000 on behalf of the township and dispensing with a second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please.
This is a multi-item spending authorization. Two items for the fire department. Again, this is the Stryker medical equipment. These are the cardiac monitors for $125,000, along with the
So,
an annual.
yeah, we have a 5-year agreement for maintenance on all our Stryker products, which are every cot, every load, every Lucas device, cardiac monitors, and stair chairs. So it's a huge cache of EMS equipment, and this would cover a 5-year program for maintenance.
Very good.
Other two items, Barrett Paving. The project came in over the engineer's estimate, but still within budget. We don't need an amendment to the appropriations, but we do need to authorize additional spending within budget. And then multiple vendors. This is simply the Clemmy property. We are going to be taking on the demolition of that site in preparation for the infrastructure improvements next to Delhi Town Square. So,
Very good. I will move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-129, authorizing the Township Administrator to enter into a natural gas aggregation agreement with a natural gas supplier as recommended by Energy Alliances, Inc., provided that the accepted aggregation rate is below the current contracted rate at the time of execution for a period not to exceed 36 months, and dispensing with the second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion on this resolution, Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir. Gas prices are at there's a good opportunity right now with gas prices the way they are to request new bids on our gas aggregation. We're still working with Energy Alliances. So once we approve this, we'll be part of the rebid list. Essentially, we're going to have to jump on this. So the target is to get a price better than what we have right now. So we're currently with AEP. That could change based on price.
Very good. I will move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-130, authorizing and entering into an administrative services agreement for medical plan administration with Bind Benefits, Inc., DBA Surest, for the purpose of establishing the terms and conditions under which Surest agrees to provide administrative services in connection with the provision of certain self-insured group health benefits for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver all necessary documents, and dispensing with the second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please. Anything, Mr. Miller?
Very briefly, I'm actually going to kind of intro multiple resolutions that are coming up. It's time to do our insurance renewal for the year. We're self-insured. We had a presentation on this at a special meeting earlier this month. We are now ready to execute those agreements. We are looking at on the major medical portion of this. We're looking at a 5% reduction in premiums for our employees. So we've had a good past year on claims, and so we're passing that savings on to the employees that earned it.
Right.
So Melanie is here. If you have any specific questions about the medical plan.
I do not. Trustee Seavey?
I'm just grateful that we have a plan that our employees have embraced with good, healthy habits. And I'm also grateful for the fact that when they need help with health care, we have a plan that can get them through that. So I'm very pleased with it, Mr. Schuyler. Thank you, Melanie.
Yeah.
I will say, with the coming on first time, I've been very impressed with this plan over the first year. Surest is, it's a very engaging healthcare provider. The apps allow our employees to be, educated, informed users of the plan. Marathon is a great service. Again, very engaging, and certainly the promotion of the wellness plan is not only a proactive, but is certainly seeing dividends in and reduction in claims. So these are great programs. I think we just need to keep pushing forward.
Good.
Yep.
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes. Thank you, Melanie. This isn't something that you see where it just happened over a couple of days. We talked about it. It's literally months and months of prep and crunching numbers. And again, it's a great testament for you and the work that you do and our employees and everyone not abusing the system, but actually using some of the tools that it offers. So thank you.
Resolution 2023-131, authorizing and entering into the contract providing excess loss insurance with ISU, a division of Companion Life Insurance Company, in connection with the provision of group health insurance benefits through an individual self-insurance program for the provision of individual and aggregate stop-loss protection, authorizing the Township Administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents and dispensing with the second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please.
I think it was
This
covered.
is part of the same group.
I'm just saying, it's
Oh.
rhetorical.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to go into it again. Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-132, authorizing and entering into a renewal agreement with Avisus for group vision insurance benefits for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute and deliver the necessary documents, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 2023-133, entering into an agreement with Standard Insurance Company for the provision of group life insurance benefits for eligible township employees and officers, authorizing the township administrator to execute such agreement, and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Discussion, please. Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, resolution passes. Good. Continue.
We have a motion to approve the wellness program from August 2023 through July 2024 for health insurance plan year October 2024 through September 2025, including a 1% reduction on employee premium contributions for annual physical and biometric screening for themselves and covered spouse, and 1% reduction on employee premium contribution for successful participation in the wellness program.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion is approved. That's a great program there, too. You want to talk about that for a second? That's kind of a good thing, especially for employees that watch these meetings.
I will say that this is one that I would prefer everyone to participate in it, but we do have a wellness committee that meet, and we do discuss things that worked and some things that don't work. So we do evaluate the plan as we go in each year to make changes as necessary. Again, it's great for the employees to participate. If they're the first one, if they get an annual physical, it's nice for them to get in front of a doctor or to Marathon Health, just to get that relationship. And then the wellness programs, of course, the STEP challenge, a hydration challenge, stuff like that. And then we also give them some credit for participating in stuff like the kids, cops, and firefighters, and we do a food drive and stuff like that. So it's a great way for the employees to contribute to their health, but also to some good causes as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Administrators report, please.
Sir. Fun time. I get to share pictures of the DTS project. So we do have some new aerial photos from just this week. So this is looking south onto the front of the DTS, the Delhi Town Square main building. All the brick is done on the front face. Roofing is in. I think we have maybe one air conditioner unit to put on. Otherwise, what you see is completed. As you can see in the front of this, the PLK apartments the Viridian apartments are in various stages of completion. What is actually right off the side of this picture, building 1 is nearest to completion, but they're moving west to east on this site. So in this picture, right to left. So this is the south side of our building. As you can see, the exterior panels are still going up. A lot of the smaller windows are in, but the larger panes are still being put in, kind of right there at the the main meeting space. Still a large opening. But we're getting there. We almost have an air-sealed building. There's actually sections that have temporary air conditioning in there for painting and mudding right now, so good times. This is building 1, 2, and 3 on the, that'd be the west side of the property, so you can see Dunkin' Donuts in that front right corner. Building 1 is directly behind Dunkin' Donuts. Exterior is getting finished up. Color match is very similar to the main building. It looks pretty good. Very, very modern buildings, but exciting that we're getting to this stage. Here's the other side on the east side of the property. So the long building, building 4, and then finally the smallest building, building 5. So moving on to the inside, this is actually the second pool. This is the warming pool that's in the northern portion of the recreation area. So that is being excavated out right now. They actually have footers in, and we'll start forming up the walls. Similar construction to the larger pool. It's actually a stainless steel pool. Kind of neat. So just a quick picture. This is just the interior space of the locker rooms. So you can see drywall's up. It's getting mudded. We're gonna start doing finishes soon. And the kind of just like PLK, you got to start at one side of the building and work to the other. The classroom spaces are the most finished at this point. Flooring is down, painting is down. They're putting the casework in. These are starting to look like classrooms. So very fun and exciting time. I'm also happy to report with our new Community and Economic Development Director, we've been planning. And Joy may want to talk about this. We've been planning some hard hat tours for community members, stakeholders, potential developers for our area. But now that the building is truly taking shape, we see what's happening out front. We're going to start having more and more opportunities for tours, bringing people in. Athletic directors of the local schools. Other business people as they come in. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for us to show off our new space. And that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
As well as interest from other jurisdictions and people around the state and Kentucky that want to see what this is all about and how you did it, and that's just kind of neat to see others outside looking at this. And again, Delhi, you're literally 14 minutes from downtown. Across the bridge everywhere, and you're a safe community, which is great, and that's going to be wonderful. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Skylar, real quick, would you mind passing along maybe a projected completion date for everything?
Of which part? So we are looking at a early first quarter, completion for our building. We still have some infrastructure, sanitary sewer components that we're waiting to see what the final schedule is on that. It may or may not delay the opening of the building, but we're still on target for an early 2024 opening of the full facility. Oak Hills will be, they're scheduled to operate the pre-K facility for next school year, which means they're going to start finishing out their space early next spring. There's a lot of state certifications and inspections that have to go into that, so their portion of the building has to be done by April, May, in order for them to have that review period and be open in August. So that's a big push right now, but I certainly see us in there and operating early spring at the latest. So
Great. Thank you. Community Development Department, it's a joy and an honor to introduce Joy Pearson. Joy, this is your official first meeting?
Yes.
And you are officially our Community and Economic Developer, right? Yes. That's your department. And before you dig in there, for those that are watching, tell us your background, Joy, and where you've been, and because it's really a dynamic experiences that you bring.
That might take too long, but I'll give you the short version. The most important thing is that I'm a West Sider, born and bred. I'm one of 15 kids. I told you during my interview that 12 of my family members live in Delhi. Well, they don't live, they reside in the cemetery behind Our Lady of Victory. So I'm super happy to be here. I've worked in local government all over the country for 10 years. I was the trailing spouse, so I worked in a lot of different places. But most recently, I worked in Covington, Kentucky, and Hamilton County, and was able to be in the very first meeting with Mount St. Joe and the township and a possible bond issuer for the Delhi Town Square project. So it's so exciting to be at the very first meeting and then be at the ribbon cutting, and be involved in these last phases. But my background's community development, a lot of budget and financial planning. I really love the community, and I've never felt so welcome, ever. I tell my family and friends I have to pinch myself every day. I'm so happy to be here.
That's great. Let me ask you a question, Joy, put you on the spot. You know, one thing that we hear, and I bet many out here would say the same thing, oh, we're tired of the same old, same old. What are you going to do to make Delhi different? We want retail, we want restaurants, what's the first couple of things you want to do in order to unpack that?
Well, the first thing that I already have done is applied with a pre-application for a mini grant from Hamilton County to get new data and get projections of what the new development is going to do for our community and what the market will attract. So I know everyone's asking if we're getting an Olive Garden. My answer is probably not, but we're going to find out what we should get and what we can get, and then go out and chase those opportunities.
Yeah, and that's important, being proactive to try and bring in, to sell the vision that we have instead of everything setting up shop on Delhi Pike. And all of a sudden you have 3 car washes and $5 stores and everything else, which not slamming them, but they want variety, they want other things, and it's very difficult, as I'm sure you would say, when we don't own Delhi Pike, we don't own the land or the businesses, it's a little bit tough for us to just run up there and say, hey, you can't do this. It's not realistic, and but we feel the same way, so, which is why we hired you. And I think that people are going to fall in love with the energy and the love that you have for the West Side and for just being a success that you have shown by your resume and your experiences in Kentucky and Hamilton County. You are a success, so we welcome that here in Delhi. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll do a segue into this stakeholder hard hat tour. I reached out to some colleagues at the Port Authority and what used to be called HCDC, which is now Alloy, and offered to do a tour. And then I went, wait a minute, there's many other people that we need to include. So I will say this, we're starting out with a small group because the construction site is still it's an active construction site. So we will be sending out invitations to 25 to 35 people and have small groups of 10 or 12. The date is Thursday, September 28th, and it'll be at 3:30 in the afternoon. But we will have more opportunities as the building is safer to share. And we'll meet with anybody that wants us to talk about the ups and the downs and the lessons learned. So we'll reach out to our professional associations and all of the stakeholders in the area as well. So. The next item that I want to highlight is the request for qualifications for a general contractor to build the patio bar in the public space is going out tomorrow, and it will be due on Friday, September 29th. So it will be on our website tomorrow by 2 o'clock, and we have a request for information process listed there. There are no phone calls. We have to follow all the federal and state and local procurement policies. So all questions must come in through an email, and we will then issue an addendum. So keep an eye out. The deadline for the questions is September 7th. So we want people to dig in, look at the RFQ, and come up with all the questions they can come up with, and then be responsive and have that out in a month. We have a schedule in the RFQ to finish by May 31st of next year, with the caveat that the criteria include whether or not that schedule can be met. So we know that's our schedule and our dream, and we know that the construction market is crazy right now. So we want to put out what we're looking for and score people accordingly. Want me to cover anything else on here? Okay. Skylar and I met with the CFO and facilities operations manager for the public library. So we wanted to find out what the status was on the expansion and renovation of the Delhi branch. And they are planning to move the schedule up, but they can definitely move it up more if the levy passes in November. So I already volunteered to get a sign for my yard to pass the library levy. I'm a frequent flyer at the library. I can tell you where all the libraries are all over Hamilton County, and I'll tell you that they are, I think it's within 20 minutes, there's a library for every single resident of Hamilton County. I used to work with the community development director there, and we'll be building a partnership here as well. So we'll follow up after the November election. And then I'm happy to say that Tony took me on 2 or 3 tours around the township and to identify sites that are available or will be available for development, and we will be doing a tour with the Port Authority. They've requested to see everything, not just the town square. So I'm happy to be getting ready for that. And then we also met with somebody today from Fisher Homes to talk about residential development, and we're meeting with Dries next week as well. So it's an exciting time to be here, and a lot of moving parts. Then lastly, on the formal regulatory side, we've issued 5 new zoning certificates. The year-to-date total is 205 permits, and the year-to-date total value is $24.2 million. There were also 2 zoning orders issued, and the due dates for compliance is September 7th. And then we had some properties abated. 5 properties had grass cutting or weeds removed, and 1 had debris removed. And lastly, there were no nuisance complaints on the agenda today. So since we don't have a full board today, we wanted to wait until the September 13th meeting so things would go into effect immediately rather than waiting 30 days for August or September 30th.
Joy, when did you start for Delhi?
2 weeks and 2 days ago. 2 weeks and 3 days ago.
Isn't that amazing? My goodness gracious. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate that. Love your energy. And again, it benefits us. It benefits Delhi, the residents. So thank you. And thank you for saying yes to coming on board. Trustee Seavey?
Yeah, welcome, Joy. You are a joy. We were very lucky to have our former community development director, and we were very particular about who was going to replace him, and you've done just a wonderful, wonderful entrance. So thank you. And we think we have a lot to market in Delhi. We have a lot of opportunities, and we have a lot of place for growth, and that's going to be your goal.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Joy.
Thanks.
Before we go into any public comment, our legal advisor, Brian, you've seen a lot going on here with our chief and Delhi and everything. What's going on in your world? What do you see, and what are your thoughts?
Well, everybody grab a seat. I would just, and I live in Hamilton Township, so Kings Island for those of you who care, although I hope none of you care. Anyway, the one thing, well, there's 3 things. One, just have to remark again about the chief. And I've said this publicly a number of times, privately as well in meetings, but he is the velvet hammer. And maybe a velvet, given his head, maybe the velvet anvil. But the point is that he has the unique ability to thread the needle between a community policing, which people have now come to really adapt and really want more so than kind of the, throw the book at everybody, and including his cutting edge hiring a social worker, which is the first thing done in Hamilton County and is becoming a model, I think, for other jurisdictions to follow, including ones that I represent. So the ability to have just a unique way to cut that thread is really an impressive guy, and really enjoyed working with you for the 5 years, and wish we were working together more, but I've really enjoyed our time, and I know we're friends, and I appreciate that. I look forward to continuing to being so, including you picking up lunch more this time. When you go to lunch with Jim, another observation, when you go to lunch with Jim, it's like this after he's done eating, okay? Anyway, so I appreciate Jim and his ability to thread the needle in police chiefs, and I've worked with a number of them, and he's at the top of the list. No disrespect to anybody else, he's at the top of the list, so thank you, Jim. Second thing is, let me reiterate what Joy says. I've been here now since 1/1 of 19 as a law director. The family atmosphere, the between not only the department, but also led off by the trustees and the fiscal officer in terms of it's important to this board and this fiscal officer to be a family and to work together in unison to accomplish the goals. You see that with the Pike. You see that with look, the word is not a word I came up with, it's a word you guys came up with. You wanted this project to be catalytic, meaning Delhi Town Square, and it has been. Joy's now doing a study that's going to show the results of that catalytic effect. So the fact that family and a vision and also the will to accomplish it. Very impressive to look back just as a law director and see, what you have going on. And then thirdly, you have an ability to kind of evaluate and listen, not overreact. Look, we all have to react to the citizens, but there's a difference between reacting and overreacting, in my opinion. And the ability of this board to react in a timely manner, but not overact, has been really a pleasure to watch. And again, I'm honored and happy to be part of the family. It's been 4 years. I hope it's 40, because I've really enjoyed it and been a part of the community. And I want to thank everybody here, including, one of the things, I'm part of the department, as you both, all three of you know, I'm part of the department head report, or every week, or every meeting, or every week there's a weekly department head meeting. And just to see what's going on, and to see that everybody's pointing in the right direction for the benefit of the citizens of Delhi is a really important thing, again, coming from the leadership of the board and the fiscal officer and Skylar now. So it's been just an honor to be here and part of it. So thank you, Chairman, for the opportunity to speak. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we love having you being part of the family, and absolutely. Okay. I have nobody signed in as far as from the community who would like to address. Janet Rosenthal would like to come up. Okay. Hi, Janet.
You all know me, so I just want to take a moment and thank Jim from the community, not just the DCPA, but the community. We love you, and we're going to miss you.
Amen. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We have our announcement of community events, please, Mr. Luby.
We have our free fishing on Fridays at Clearview Lake. The lake is now open to Delhi residents for catch and release fishing in designated areas on Fridays through September from 7 a.m. until dusk. Contact the Parks Department with any questions. Delhi Parks and Recreation, in cooperation with the Delhi Skyline Chili, St. Dominic Athletic Association, Seton High School, Duber's Carryout, Delhi Hills Kiwanis Club, James J. Luby, Delhi Liquor, Krugler Law, Lori O'Brien, Sipsy Klein, Chandler's Burger Bistro, and Jake's Automotive will present the Cincinnati Transit Authority on Thursday, August 31st at 7 p.m. That'll be at the Delhi Park Performance Pavilion. Food and beverages will be available for purchase. The Delhi Branch Library Customer Appreciation Day is Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's at the Delhi Branch Library. Crafts for Kids, Scavenger Hunt, Tech Table, and Library Card Sign-ups. Delhi Parks and Recreation will present Deviate on Thursday, September 14th. Again, it'll be 7 o'clock at the Performance Pavilion, and food and beverages will be available. The Oak Hills Alumni and Educational Foundation's Highlander Food Truck Frenzy is Saturday, September 16th. That's from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., and that's at Oak Hills High School on Ebenezer Road. There's lots of great food trucks, craft beer, live music, kids zone with inflatables, and split the pot raffle. The St. Dominic Health Fair is Thursday, September 20th, and that's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the St. Dominic Gymnasium at 371 Pedretti Avenue. Many vendors will be promoting awareness about all aspects of wellness and valuable health and wellness resources. The Delhi Police and Fire personnel will be there to answer questions about programming and services. The first Community Craft Night presented by Delhi Parks and Rec and JC Boutique will be Friday, September 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. That's at the Delhi Senior Community Center. Choose from 4 door hanger designs, and the cost is $45, and reservations are required. And that's all we have.
Very good. We do have a need to retire to executive session tonight, so we will entertain a motion for that, please.
We have a motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of a public employee of the township, and to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance and imminent litigation.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yes. Very good. That passes, and we will retire to executive. Thank you all for being here tonight. Those watching from home, September 13th will be our next meeting. Feel free to come in and join us. Until then, stay safe, watch the kids. School's back in session, so be smart, and see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.